fabulous Kentucky Derby. Finally, we've made it to Kentucky Derby Day or Kentucky Derby Week. We will be giving out our picks for all the stakes races on the card, starting with race 4 and finishing out with obviously the Kentucky Derby. Make sure to check out down below. We have our full betting guide so you can see all the other races and how we are structuring some of our tickets for Kentucky Derby Day. And let us know if you win using some of our selections. So we'll get right to it with the Derby City Distaff Grade 1 going 7 furlongs. This one's pretty simple here. We are on Goodnight Olive, like everybody else is going to be in this race. 4 to 5 currently as your heavy favorite, probably will be even more heavy coming in. 8 and 7 Lifetime really hasn't done anything wrong. Huge speed figure. She did get a little slower speed figure last time out in the Madison. But one that we are probably singling right out of the gate. Next, if you want to try to beat her, Wicked Halo, number 3 at 3 to 1 for Tyler Gaffleone and Steve Asmussen. Maybe the one that you could beat her with. Finished first in the Matron, a $250,000 stakes race, last outing at Oaklawn Park. Is familiar with the Churchill down surface, so that will be interesting or a note to check. Third is Madureira. Again, really not going too much in depth here. I think Goodnight Olive is a pretty lock. Flavion Pratt, Brad Cox, coming out of that Matron as well, was beat out by Wicked Halo, but previously winner of the Acorn, winner of the 8 Bells and the Beaumont. So definitely has some class for Madureira. I just think Goodnight Olive is too good. Long shot-ish that we're putting in here, 6 to 1, is Hot and Sultry. Just has some speed figures that are comparable to some of these other horses. However, probably not going to be there at the end. You have Goodnight Olive, Wicked Halo, probably going to go 1-2. Those will be the top 2 selections in most betting wagers. Race 5, we're going a mile on the turf, the Derby City Distaff Grade 2. This one is for 4-year-olds and up. Top pick, it's going to be tough. Spinderella, coming in here out of the Del Mar Oaks, a Grade 1 stakes race. So shipping in, was previously at Ascot, so that's kind of interesting there. Finished second in the Coronation Stakes, a big Grade 1 stakes race on Ascot Day. Previously, winner of the Appellation, winner of the Homecoming Bride. Pretty good speed figure last time out in that Del Mar Oaks. Kind of sets her up for why she is 7 to 5. We're going to try to swing and beat her and use this as our exacta with number 3, Hottie, as our second choice coming out of the Lake Placid Grade 2 Stakes race at Saratoga. Coming off a big layoff in here for Chad Brown, gets Jose Ortiz aboard. 93 speed figure, primal power of 152. That's 5th in this field. Really, I just think the layoff is interesting for Hottie, and I think is a horse that we're going to play with a big exacta with Spinderella. Third, speak of the devil, we'll see what this horse is able to get back to. Winner of this race this time last year and did it rather fashionably. Does get Flavion Pratt back aboard. However, back in the Just a Gem and the Honey Fox, didn't even come in for a second or third. So we will see what Speak of the Devil is able to do. And then Fluffy Socks. Horse just doesn't want to win. Finishes second or third a lot of the time. So we're going to use this one as our trifecta rounder out in here. A great betting race on the turf. It's interesting with this new Turfway or Churchill turf. I don't know. It seems like some of the horses are not adjusting to it. It's almost like it still needs growing to do in the growing season. So definitely going to be interesting to see what these horses, the stakes races anyway, on Friday for Oaks Day, how it's going to transfer over to Kentucky Derby Day. Next, we got race 6 going a mile. The Knicks Go Stakes for $175,000. This race is for 4-year-olds and up. We got a pretty good price horse in here at 6 to 1 in Masquerade with Joel Rosario and Al Stall. 11-4, 2-2 lifetime, $600,000 in earning, was a $180,000 Keeneland September purchase. Um, Interesting enough, coming out of the Aladar at Saratoga, like some of the other ones, finished second in their previous, coming out of a optional claiming 80,000 of non-winners of three. Looking back, the horse has been in the Travers, the Jim Dandy, and the Ohio Derby. So posted a pretty good workout April 27th on the Churchill track. So interesting to see, and we like Masca Parade at a pretty good price at 6-1. Next, we're going Caddo River, the 12 horse at 4-1. Coming out of that Oaklawn Mile, a grade 3 stakes race, finished second with Ricardo Santana. Here gets Tyler Gaffalione aboard for the first time for D. Wayne Lucas. A 5-year-old out of Hardspun. Pretty good speed figures, 92 in his last 2 starts. So kind of maybe one that's trending back up from what this horse was doing when he was said to be on the Kentucky Derby Trail. Other than that, optional claiming races, 6th in the Stephen Foster. Just looks a little out of depth, and we're just going to take a swing and see what happens in here. Third, we're going to use Knee Deep in Snow at 10-1. Irad Ortiz for Matt Shearer. Second, again, in an optional claiming, $100,000 one here. I believe this one was non-winners again. So interesting enough, has some comparable speed figures to Masca Parade and Caddo River, in 94 in the last time out. So seems to be trending back up. Tyler Gaffalione gets off. Irad gets aboard. So interesting to see that jockey switch there and what it can do. And our long shot, again, wide open field, I believe in this one. We're going to have to go deep, is Promise Keeper, the 8 at 15-1. This is a long shot here for Dallas Stewart. Luis Saez gets aboard. Luis has always been known to ride horses hard out of the gate. This one has ran against Masca Parade before and not really had much for him. So interesting to see with Luis coming back aboard this horse. He last was on this horse in the Ohio Derby. This horse finished first in the Peter Pan, was 12th in the Tampa Bay Derby this time last year. Coming out of a grade 3 stakes race at Monmouth, a big layoff, the last race in August. So interesting to see what this one can do off of a layoff. Race 7, we're going 5.5 on that newly fresh turf course again for Churchill Downs. We have the Turf Sprint, a grade 2 stakes race for 3-year-olds and up. Best idea, sprinting on the turf, single on the dirt. Topic is going to be Notorious, Flavion Pratt, Phil De Amato. Interesting here, coming out of a Santa Anita grade 3 stakes race on the turf, going 6.5, ships in for this race. Continues with Flavion Pratt. Interesting speed figure in 101, big time last time out. Has been sharp in her workouts, or in his workouts. $300,000 purchase, I believe, is what this horse was. Primal Power is a little shorter, 160.8, fourth in this field right now. 13-5 in its career with 2 wins so far in 2023. Again, coming out of that stakes race at Santa Anita, has been overseas in a couple Class 4 and Class 5 handicap races. So came over here with great success once it did, and looking for another graded stakes win on Derby Day. Second pick, Big Invasion, the 4 here at 7-2 for Joel and Christoph. Ran in the Silks Run at Gulfstream Park back in March. Won that race coming from off the pace, like a lot of Joel and Christoph horses do. This one will be another one that's going to come from off the pace. A little bit higher prime power in 160.9 from our top pick in Notorious. 1-for-1 so far in 2023, 9-7 in his career. So definitely a good 4-year-old to keep an eye on. Really has been not even off the board in any of his 9 starts. Um, was third the time back before in the Frankel Samps, grade 2 at Kentucky Downs, and then first time out was second at Gulfstream. Other than that, it's all wins, straight 7 wins for this horse, and seems to be in great form. And here, the connections are high up on this horse, so obviously going to make a big run. Third, we're going to use number 10, Arrest Me Red, with Irad and Wesley Ward. Coming out of that Shakertown, grade 2 Shakertown, with Joel aboard, finished behind Caravel and Bad Beat Brian, finished third in that race. Time before that was in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint at grade 1. At Keeneland was 8th, just had nothing again, Caravel. Kind of have to go back to the Turf Sprint, finished third in there, or second in there behind... I don't even know what that horse was. Anyways, finished third in that race at the Turf Sprint, grade 2, again at Kentucky Downs. Familiar with the Churchill Downs Turf, has ran on it one time, posted a 97 speed figure. Again, gets Irad back in the irons, so interesting to see what he's able to do there. I feel like this horse is going to go up a little bit in price because I feel like the other two may get some attention. So at a good price, take a swing with Irad. And Bad Beat Brian, again, a horse coming out of the Shakertown, finished second in that race behind Caravel at a big price. Who knows? Maybe this horse is figuring it out and is striving in the right direction. Was shipped in from Turfway, so Turfway shippers, hey, best angle in betting right now, I guess. But we're going to see if this horse from Keeneland, now shipping in, can make a difference and make another big run. 15-1 on the morning line. I feel like this horse is going to go up again, hopefully around 20-30-1, to make another pretty good exacta trifecta wager. Race 8, we have the Big Pat Day Mile. This is a grade 2 stakes race for 3-year-olds. And probably our price of the day is going to be number 1, Kangaroo Court at 8-1 right now as our top pick in here. 4-3 lifetime, 2 for 2 so far in 2023. Johnny V gets the mount in here for Tim Yakutin. Interesting enough, kind of a cheaper end purchase, 7.5 thousand. So again, cheap ticket, good horse that has earned almost $200,000. Won the Echo Eddie Stakes at Santa Anita, won an optional race again at Santa Anita for non-winners of 2. Broke its maiden again, 5.5 furlongs, posted a 97 speed figure. So speed figures have been consistent. And I think this horse will take another step forward and run a big race in here. Second, we're going to try with General Jim, the number 9 at 4-1, Luis Saez for Claude McGahee. Winner of the grade 3 Swale at Gulfstream. Did it kind of from sitting a mid-pack pressing style race. Posted its career best speed figure in that race of 97. So another one that seems to be going in the right direction and could play into that Kangaroo Court exacta that we will be hoping for. Primal Power of 136, so right up there with the tops of these horses in here. 6-3 lifetime, 2 for 1, and 2023 with that career best speed figure. Third, Echo again. I know a lot of people are talking about this horse as being a single. I just don't know. I'm not going to single Echo again in here with Florent and for Steve Asmussen. Yeah, it's got the pedigree and everything. I just, coming out of the springboard, was third. The comp was pulled up, ended up getting put off of the Derby Trail, I believe, because it was pulled up there. Comes back in an allowance of 103, and then it obviously was going to easily win. Posted a 92 speed figure, so I think it's off a little bit from General Jim and Kangaroo Court. That's kind of where we're using it as our third pick in here. Long shot, going with Gilmore, an early speed pressing type horse with Irad and Brendan Walsh. Brendan Walsh is either on or he's off, so let's hope he's on here to kind of round out an exacta trifecta, and we probably will use this horse in some of our pick 4s and pick 5s at a decent price. Again, that Turfway Park shipper angle, previously trained by Bob Baffert. So those Baffert fans in here maybe are tending or leaning towards this horse. Coming out of the Bayshore Grade 3 at Aqueduct, finished second in there. So interesting, has been the betting favorite or the second choice in his last starts. However, struggling to find the winner circle. Has only one win in 5 career starts. But at 12-1 with Irad and Brendan Walsh, you have to take a swing at this horse. We had another horse in here that we were going to talk about. Midnight Rising, a big prize for Luan Machado with Jordan Blair as the trainer. I mean, it's only raced 3 times. It's trying stakes company again. The speed is just not there for this horse, but at a big price, if you are a superfecta type better, this is one that's going to be running super late. And depending on a pace meltdown or anything along those lines, Midnight Rising may be one that could get up and steal second or third and possibly be there for 4th position. On to race 9. We have the American Turf Grade 2 Turf race for 3-year-olds. Going down to the far outside and Carl Spackler as our top pick. Yeah, we know the horse has only raced 2 times, won an $84,000 maiden, and here we go right into graded stakes races. It did it really well. 102 speed figure, and really just was ridden out easily, handridden. Nothing was going to cause this horse to lose that day. So if a lot of people are going to single this, we're going to try. We think Carl Spackler is an easy lock. We're going to use some other horses in here just for price money. Johannes is our big second pick right now, number 5 at 15-1 for Umberto Rispoli. Tim Yakutin again. This horse is coming out of the Pasadena $100,000 stakes race, the Baffle $100,000 stakes race, and then broke its maiden in a $67,000 level. Interesting enough, 3 wins in its last 3 starts, comes in great form. Ships in from Santa Anita, of course. Just a good son out of Nyquist, so has some speed in there. Looks to be one that might sit off the pace a little bit and to make a pretty good run into the stretch. Umberto has been riding really well the last 60 days. His numbers are up. So interesting to see what he's able to do with this field. 15-1. We're going to try it. We're going to see. I really like that 95 speed figure the last time out as his career best. Third, Farbridge. I mean, this could be a 2-horse race between Carl Spackler and Farbridge. Again, 2 horses that are coming off of 2 starts. Farbridge is undefeated, steps in here out of a 95 speed figure from an allowance or an optional claiming 75, non-winners of 1. Interesting enough, gets Joel back aboard instead of Jose. Has beat out Carl Spackler before. They both raced in an $84,000 maiden at Gulfstream Park, going a mile and 16th in that race. So here they are again, going to duel it out once more. That's why we're using Johannes. If these two kind of fight it out a little bit, maybe Johannes can spoil their party and sneak a win. Major Dude, I think, has to be given a look here, coming out of the Jeff Ruby Stakes as the post-time favorite. Finished second in there behind Two Phils, who we all know is in the Kentucky Derby. Interesting enough, came out of the Kitten's Joy, Grade 3 as well, from on the turf at Gulfstream. Finishing first in there, posting a 94 speed figure. So he's got speed that's comparable to our other 3 picks in here. You have to use him. Todd Pletcher, Irad, again, it's a horse that could be at the Derby Trail if he squeaks by Two Phils. But again, another one that's really not done much wrong going on the turf. He did run in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, finished 9th, which he wasn't expected to do much there. Comes out of the Pilgrim, a Grade 2 stakes race. So he has graded stakes race under his belt. Looking at Farbridge and Carl Spackler, they just did break their maidens or an optional claiming. Fantastic again, if you are that type of superfecta, trifecta, heavy better. Fantastic again is interesting. Again, another one that's coming out of the Jeff Ruby Stakes, finished 3rd in there as well. The Leonatus Turfway Stakes, won that one after winning an optional claiming of non-winners of 1. Was in the Breeders' Futurity with Forte, finished 9th in there. Again, one that wasn't expected to do much, but has some of the big class that some of these other horses have. One that we like on the also eligible list, so watch out for Scooby Quando if he's able to draw in. Interesting, he gets Christophe Lemire aboard. We were big on this horse in the Bluegrass, and he did nothing, absolutely nothing. So interesting. Watch out for these also eligibles. We're big on this one, so we're going to have this one, I guess, on alert if Scooby Quando is able to draw. Next, we have the Churchill Downs Stakes, grade 1 for 4-year-olds. Really good betting race in here. Cody's Wish, again, another single for most people. 11-7 lifetime, 106, 105, 104 speed figures, just has done everything right. Coming out of the Westchester, the Hanselin, the Forgo, and the Breeders' Cup Mile. So comes in off a pretty good layoff in here for Kentucky Derby Day. And we may use Endorsed in here as the second option just because he has some speed that is comparable to some of these, to Cody's Wish. So we're going big Exacta in here with Cody's Wish and Endorsed. Long shot, we might take a swing in Fort and Hill. A horse that has some early speed, so if he can get out and set good fractions, this is what Cody's Wish is going to have to run down. There's where we're kind of maybe using this horse as a trifecta. Another long shot, Hoist the Gold. This horse is getting a lot of buzz for some reason. I think with Luis Saez aboard, just had a bad gate break last time out, so Dallas Stewart's getting Luis booked for this one to try to have a better gate break. And one that could be possibly pressing or coming off the pace a little bit. Again, all these picks will be down below in our link, so make sure you check those out to get our full selections. Turf race again, Turf Classic, grade 1, 4-year-olds going a mile and an 1/8. Top pick, we're going big, 10-1. Wolfie's Dynaghost right now. I just like what this horse was able to do in the Kentucky Cup Classic, again at Turfway Park with Johnny V. 102 speed figure, so career best 102 in there. 2 for 2 so far in 2023. Has not done anything wrong in 2023. Has ran in some grade 3 stakes races, finishing 2nd and 3rd. So one to watch to take a big step forward in here at a pretty good price. Next, we're going to use Hong Kong Harry, number 7, 7-2, Flavion and Phil de Amato. Coming out of that Kilroe, grade 1, finished 4th, was beaten favorite in there. The Seabiscuit, grade 2 at Del Mar, won that race, posting its career best speed figure again. So obviously he's going to have to get back to that high 90 speed figure to be successful in here. I think the horse will do fine. Probably going to be the pick or the second betting choice for most bettors. Then you have Up to the Mark with Irad and Todd Pletcher. Going to be a big day for Irad, more than likely. Coming out of that Maker's Mark Mile, grade 1 at Keeneland. Finished 3rd behind Modern Games. 96 speed figure did really well. Seems to be one that needs to get back to that 101 speed, but definitely was up against it in that Maker's Mark Mile. So a lot of people think that coming back in here is a little bit easier task than what that horse had. Interesting enough, again, Irad and Todd Pletcher hooking up once again. 4th pick, sorry, we're going with Spooky Channel. Not really a long shot, but just one that, you could use coming out of the Muniz at Fairgrounds. Winner of that race gets Joel to stay aboard with Jason Barkley. You just never know what Spooky Channel is going to be able to do. Interesting enough, hopefully this horse gets up to about 8-10-1 and could be a decent price to round out your trifectas. And here we go, Kentucky Derby. If you watched all of our other videos, you know probably what horses we are going to talk about or what horses that we are keyed in on. Obviously, we are big with Hit Show as our long shot pick. We don't like the one hole, but I feel like Manny Franco will be able to maneuver him well. He comes off the pace. So I think there's no issues there with Hit Show. 30-1. We're putting a win place show wager on this horse. Anything could happen. He's been favorited in all 5 of his starts, was beaten by a neck by Lord Miles the last time out. Kind of got pinched in between those 2 horses. I just think he's going to sit a better trip and should be one that's kind of running a little bit late in the game. Our other long shot will be Rocket Can at 30-1, Junior Alvarado, Wilmot. Again, a horse that's, I know, not done a whole lot, 7-2-2, but I think the running style could help in here. Doesn't really have a great prime power, but one that has been training really well or working out really well. So we're using him. I think one that should want early press, so maybe gets out a little bit better. Um, I know it's going to be a crowd, but I think the gate of 18 should help Rocket Can a little bit easier to get up to that pace. And next, Derma Sotogake. We were big on this horse, still big on this horse. Probably going to put a win wager on him with Christophe Lemire. It's interesting to see. He's been putting out incredible workouts. Workout styles are amazing, and it's kind of neat to learn the routines of these Japan trainers. So we're going to use him. Who knows? He's got the speed, definitely, to be dangerous in here. And next, we're going Forte. I think this will be a lot of people's picks. I mean, you can come up with excuses. You can say he's the best. Again, he's not done anything wrong since the Sanford, where he finished third. He's been consistent out of that Breeders' Cup Futurity, beat the next big Bob Baffert horse, if you would, in Cave Rock. Comes into the Fountain of Youth, again, ridden out easily. And then in the Florida Derby, showed what he was able to do once he got into trouble, or once he got into traffic. He was still able to figure out his way through from like the 9th position or 9th back and find the wire. So I think this horse is in great form. Again, he's not done anything wrong. He deserves to be the betting favorite in here. It's just, if you're trying to find a price horse, use Forte. He's going to be there. He's going to be in that top 3. So use him. And if you want to win wager on him. Our win wager bet is going to be Angel of Empire. Again, if you've watched some of our videos, we've put him at the top of our Derby top 10. We've mentioned that we have a futures bet on Angel of Empire, small futures bet. Once he came out of that Arkansas Derby, we were elated. It seems like that Risen Star grade 2 stakes race has had a lot of class. A lot of horses that came out of that have went on to win a prep race to set them up for the Derby. Sun Thunder, Two Fills. And then in the Arkansas Derby, I mean, he just wowed and kind of quickly got clear of forces. Again, one that's going to be coming late. So Angel of Empire is our current Kentucky Derby top pick. We will see how things go. I just think this is a horse that's in great form right now and looking the best. Of course, our long shots will be Hit Show and Rocket Can. So there's our picks for Kentucky Derby Day. The full stakes card. I know it's a lot of information, so make sure you check out the link down below of the full betting card so you can kind of see how we break apart our pick 4s and pick 5s. Make sure to leave a comment down below if you win, and let us know your Kentucky Derby pick as well. And we wish you all the best of luck. Thank you.